Hello, my beautiful people. It is another beautiful week of soccer. My name is Emmy Akura, and like I say to you on this show, we are here, and I stand here every week talking to you. It is because of you people that are watching me out there. Without you, I wouldn't be standing here. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for watching. And before we went on a break, on a week-longer break, where we saw a lot of players return to their national teams to participate in the various competitions, being it Euro 2020 qualifiers, being it African World Cup qualifiers, being it Asia World Cup qualifiers, and being it a friendly matches. We had some results that were coming from the Premier League, the Serie A, the Spanish La Liga, and also the Bundesliga. But before we go there, stay tuned. After the break, I will bring all these things to you. Welcome back. Like I said before we went on a break, there we're bringing all the results that took place in the week before we went on an international break. I will start with the results that were shocking, actually, that came in the English Premier League. We're starting with Manchester United, who started against Southampton. Southampton, who were 10 men down and 1 man down, and they had Manchester United to a 1-1 draw at St. Mary's. You know, this is a shocking result to a lot of people, and a very slow start to a team like Manchester United, who, when they beat Chelsea 4-0, a lot of people started calling for the coach to continue with the same formation and make sure that he gets it right this time around. But then somehow, in the last 2 matches, they were unable to get 3 points. They drew with Southampton, and you look at their performance, and to a lot of out there, soccer fans out there rather, especially Manchester United supporters, they will be very, very disappointed with the result against a small team like Southampton, who Manchester United were unable to beat. After leading 1-0, those guys came back and they equalized, and even though they had a man down, they were able to hold Manchester United for 90 minutes. And this, I mean, I don't know where is this coach getting it all wrong. I know it's very difficult to point some of the weak links in the team, but you look at it and the entire team, it's not performing up to expectation. You look at the strikers, actually, like the coach complained that they need to have that killer instinct. When you don't have that, because at the end of the day, they get to the final third and there's nothing to show for it, and then at the end of the day, they're having a result that is not a result that everyone is expecting from a team like Manchester United. And one will wonder, though, that the coach, what is wrong with the team? Is it because some players unsettled? Some of those players who wanted to leave Manchester United, are they unsettled by the speculation? Or is it because the coach is not getting the formation right? Well, I will leave that to a lot of you who are soccer fans and soccer analysts out there to be able to analyze that and then tell us what you think is the problem of Manchester United. There's another theme in English Premier League that is struggling also, and they also have their legend as a coach. Talking about Chelsea. Chelsea, in the first match, people were watching to see what Frank Lampard would do. He's a legend of the club. Coming back, there were a lot of expectations about him. What is he going to do to bring to the Chelsea team that the Chelsea team is lacking in the past few years? Well, he started not on the bright note. He lost 4-0 to Manchester United, and a lot of people were, okay, this is first match playing against Manchester United. We'll wait and see. And he was unable to, get a good result. His first victory came against Norwich, where Abraham scored 2 goals, and Mount Mason also scored a goal, and they won that one 3-2. But then there's one thing that I want us to look at in that Chelsea team. Since they started the Premier League, they've been conceding. Every match they play, they concede. Imagine they will lead against a team. The game against Norwich, actually, was a very bad defending. It was a lot of defensive frailties that came in there from the Chelsea side. And you look at it, you ask yourself, what did this coach What does this coach need to do? What is he going to do to be able to fix that problem? Because when you, as a team as big as Chelsea, when you are leading, it's important that you also defend your lead. And then you see at the end of the day, they will surrender that lead. We've seen that against Leicester City, and we've seen that against a team like Sheffield United, which on paper, like I say, on paper, a lot of people were giving Chelsea to go ahead and get their 3 points also against Sheffield United, but that was not to be the case. As they drew that match 2-2 against Sheffield United, that was another, I must say, that another defensive error from Zuma. Well, we're not going to be pointing fingers and calling names, but we need to also talk about these errors that are leading them to drop points. So it's very important when we talk, and they will mention these players. It's not because we're saying they're bad players or we're condemning them, but we're saying it because we think, as soccer analysts and as soccer enthusiasts, this is very important that we also mention some of these areas in which we feel the coaches can be able to strengthen. And then moving also to Arsenal. Arsenal is a team, a great team, no doubt about it. They signed quality when the likes of Nicolas Pepe came to Arsenal. A lot of us were excited that we're going to see how these guys are going to have that partnership between Aubameyang, Lacazette, and then Nicolas Pepe, because these are players with so much quality, players that they can do and destroy any team at any given time. But so far, we've seen them not, maybe, well, one would argue that a lot of them are trying to, to adapt to the system and be able to adjust to the way of playing. And also, Pepe coming to Premier League. Premier League is a very difficult league, no doubt about that. It's a difficult league. It's a league, especially if you're a player with so much money and price tag. You see so much is being expected of you from the fans, and then the media is also, whatever it is that's happening, you are seeing all over the world. And, a lot of players cannot live up to that expectation. I'm not saying that's the case with him, though, but I'm just saying that him coming to us now is going to take him a while for him to be able to adjust to that way of play, and especially also be able to adapt to the coach's ideas of play. And then we also look at Arsenal were able to manage a 2-2 draw against Tottenham. The Spurs led 2-0. Arsenal came back 1-0 before halftime. They go from Lacazette, and then they came back into the second half, and then they equalized 2-2. And you see also that is not the result that we're expecting from Arsenal, especially being a team that we're at home, against a Tottenham side. And there's one team in the English Premier League that seems to be flying high, and that is Liverpool. Liverpool finished second place last season. They were a team that a lot of people were tipping. They have the team cohesion, they have the team spirit, they have the coach who has been there for a while and have experience. But then they have another team that had more experience than them in Manchester City that won the league last season. So Liverpool started very well this season so far. They played 4 matches, won 4, have 12 points. Before they went on an international break, they had 12 points that they know that they are maintaining their 100% start to the season. And Manchester City also, they didn't do very badly. Rather, they play against a team that they were able to, against Tottenham. That was the only match they dropped point this season so far, drawing 2-2 at home, all thanks to VAR that denied them the winning goal against Tottenham. So the league is becoming interesting, that the same teams, are they going to be able to replicate the form of last season? In a Manchester City side that won the league last season, are they going to be able to retain the league and win it 3 times in a row? We don't know that, but right now we just have to, go with it. But the league is becoming very interesting, I promise you that. And we've seen teams that, right now one can say that the teams that are going to go down, teams that are going to be up there, we can say we know them, but it's too early because the league just started, and then it's just 4 matches so far. And with these 4 matches, we shouldn't be judging people who are doing badly. Some are just trying to adjust to the way of play of all they are trying to adjust to the coach's ideas. These are things that we have to wait and see in the English Premier League. Well, I will be coming back after the short break, and then we're taking you straight to Spanish League, and then we'll talk about other leagues, and then we'll talk about the English Premier League also. That will complete some of the things that some of the teams that we didn't mention in the Premier League. We'll try to talk a little bit about them, and then we'll go to Spanish League, and then we'll go to the Italian League, and then we'll talk about what is happening in the world of soccer. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Like I said before, we went on a break. We were talking about Liverpool in the English Premier League. They are on top of the league right now. Will they maintain that form and then go ahead to win the league? Well, it's too early. Like I always say, it's too early. Football is a game that you cannot predict because football has evolved. We have a Premier League where small teams that we used to call small teams are now bigger teams buying players of 40 million, 30 million, 50 million. That wasn't the case, but now it's happening in the world of soccer. That shows that the football has evolved, and then there's so much money for people to spend. People are spending a lot of money on average players, and one can help but ask, where are we going to then get quality? Are we going to get quality in all of these, or we're just going to continue paying the huge sums of money on average players? Anyway, that is a topic for another day. But then we're talking about the English Premier League, and then we're talking about the performance of these teams. We have a Pochettino, a Tottenham Hotspur, who is also there in the English Premier League. They've not started badly, but you can expect them to get more result. I think their match against Arsenal is the same thing that happened to Chelsea that happened to them. When you lead, and as a big team, you take a 2-goal lead against a big team also. One thing that you should avoid doing is making costly mistakes that will make you lose or make the team come back. Because as a good team like Arsenal, a good team like Manchester City, when you score 2 against them and they score 1, they believe that they can come back. And trust me, they will be able to hurt you if care is not taken. And that was what happened against the Spurs. I hope the coach will be able to take note from that game and see that when you are leading against a tough team like Arsenal 2-0, there is no shame. Jose Mourinho once says that there's no shame when you defend with 10 men and then get the result that you want. But then there is shame if you are leading and at the end of the day you surrender that lead without winning the game. It's very important that you make sure that you defend when you are leading as a big team, you defend that. And I think the sports side will learn from that experience. We're also just looking at some of the matches that are going to take place this weekend, and we have a first match is going to come between Liverpool and Newcastle. Liverpool is going to take on Newcastle. Well, the Newcastle side, they have a new coach in the person of Steve Bruce, who came in after Rafael Benitez left. And now he started building his own team, trying to instill his own ideas in this Newcastle team. And so far, they've started not too bad, but they still have to improve. And then they are facing the almighty Liverpool, a team that has not dropped a point so far this season. The Liverpool side is a team. They have the likes of Mane, Salah, Firmino. These guys are very good. I mean, give it to them. They've been there. And of course, the European Defender of the Year and European also Player of the Year in the person of Virgil van Dijk is there. He's a solid rock. When he's at the back, it's very difficult for you to pass him. And then they're going to face the Newcastle side. Well, who is going to take the 3 points? I might stand here and on the papers we say that Liverpool is going to win this one, but it's very difficult to say because this is a match that we have to wait and see. And then we also have Chelsea going away to Wolverhampton. Remember last season, Wolverhampton beat Chelsea 2-1. It was a very shock to a lot of people. But then, like I said, football has evolved. Teams are spending money, and when they are spending money, they are getting results in return. So you can name it whatever it is you want to name it. You can call it them buying those matches, but when you spend money, you expect expected to get a result in return. And that is what's also happening to the Wolverhampton side. They're in Europa now for the first time in so many years. They've qualified to the group stage, all thanks to their coach who is very, very good. And I mean, he built a team, really, teams that is playing together. It's not about the superstars. In football, team cohesion matters. When you have players who can be able to perform together, players who are willing to die for each other, who can sacrifice, and then they work together as a team. Trust me, the sky won't even be your limit. And then they are playing against the Chelsea side that is conceding in every match so far this season. Will the Chelsea side be able to get 3 points against this Wolverhampton side, or will it just be a deja vu to the Wolverhampton side and they will still beat the Chelsea like they did last season? Well, that we have to also live and see. And like I say, hey, I'm not going to predict any scores because the teams have, the football has evolved, and it's very difficult for you to call anybody underdog in this a time and age of soccer where there's so much money going around. And then let's go to the Spanish league. We have Barcelona. We have Real Madrid playing against Levante. I believe it's their first match of this weekend against the Levante side. It's very difficult. They've had very poor record against Levante so far in their past few years, which they find it very difficult beating Levante. Will they be able to win that game? Well, will the talisman, I wouldn't say talisman because he was a Chelsea talisman, Eden Hazard. He was injured, but he's back now. So I don't know if he's going to be involved. If he's going to be involved, is he going to be able to actually justify that 150 million that was paid by Real Madrid for him from Chelsea? Well, we have to wait and see. But then I see a very entertaining match, having a Levante side that is always fighting to escape relegation, play against the almighty Real Madrid. It's going to be a very tough match, but we have to wait and see. We also have Real Sociedad playing against Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid is another team that has never dropped a point this season. They played the 3 matches. They won all their 3 matches. And for the first time in the club history, they spent 100 and something millions on million pounds on a small player, a young player who's coming up in the person of João Felix, who they signed for 113 million thereabout. And the guy so far has been very good for them and country also. He's trying his best. We have Diego Costa is still there. Alvaro Morata is also with them. And then they're looking at like a decent team so far. Will they continue this form by beating Real Sociedad and maintain their 100% starter to the season? Well, like I say, hey, I can't predict any result. But all I can say is that these 2 teams are very good. We'll have to wait and see. And then we have Barcelona, the defending champion, playing against Valencia. That, I believe, is the last match on Saturday. And but playing against the Valencia side, Barcelona have also struggled in recent years against Valencia. Valencia, well, by the way, just sacked their coach and replaced him with a new coach, Celades, who just came in place of Marcelino. Well, we will have to wait and see. Usually when teams change a coach, it's very difficult for them to bounce back because, you know, the coach will come in with different ideas and try to instill these ideas in players, and then it takes players a while for them to adapt to that system, and they start thriving from there. But then we have to wait on that and also see. Let's go to the Serie A and look at what is happening there. Cristiano Ronaldo so far, they've started very well. They started to defend to their title by winning 2 of their last matches, and this week they're playing a very tricky match though. They're playing against a Fiorentina side that Frank Ribery recently joined. They also have the likes of Prince Boateng, who is also there with them, and it's going to be a very tough match for Juve. But as the champions that they are, one we expect, and on papers, one we expect them to go there and get 3 points. But like I say, football has evolved. You don't have to write anyone off. There are surprises. And that is why it is a game of soccer, and that is why it is very entertaining for a lot of people to watch, and it is why we also have contentious topics to bring to you. And then we also have Napoli playing against Sampdoria. Napoli, remember, for the past few years now, they've been the title contenders, although sometimes they lead and then they will drop at the end. The Juve will go ahead to win. but they're been a very good team, and they have a very good coach who has won the league, who has won the Champions League as a player and also as a coach in Carlos Ancelotti, who is very good. He is with them, and so far they've been playing decent football, but they lost against the Juventus side, who is the reigning champion. But they have to play Sampdoria this weekend. Will they get 3 points and then keep up pursuing Juve, or will this just be a different, it will be a different result? Well, like I say, soccer, you cannot predict. And then we have Inter Milan playing against Udinese. Udinese, they beat AC Milan in the first match 1-0. The almighty AC Milan have been struggling in recent years, but Udinese managed a one-goal win against them. And, you know, today, Saturday rather, they are playing against Inter Milan. Inter Milan, who have in the person of Antonio Conte as the new coach, who former Chelsea coach, who is also very good, former Juventus coach. He is a very good coach, and he came in with Lukaku that Inter Milan still have, and they're playing against Udinese. Will the Inter Milan side continue with a fine start to the season, or will these be a different result also? All these things I'm bringing it to you because we don't know what is going to happen, but then it's for you, viewers out there watching, to be able to make your predictions and then tell us what you think is going to happen in those matches. Let's look at what is happening in Bundesliga. You go to Bundesliga, we have Bayern Munich, the defending champion, playing against Leipzig. Bayern Munich against Leipzig, they're playing. You remember that Leipzig is a team that just came, but then they have very decent players also, young players who are doing wonders in that league, and they're playing against the Bayern Munich. Will the Bayern Munich continue also to win? Because the last match, they humiliated somebody actually. Will they be able to win this match, or this is going to be a very tough match, and they will drop points in the process? Well, like I said, and I reiterate that stand that I'm not going to predict matches for you. We also have Dortmund playing against Bayer Leverkusen. Dortmund have quality in their team. The likes of Reus, they're there. They have the likes of Sancho. Those players are doing wonders in that team. And then will they continue with their fine form also? And then chase Bayern Munich to the title? Well, these things are things that I can only just stand here and then tell you about them, but it is for you to make those decisions and decide on who you feel is going to win and who is not going to win. Because, hey, my sentiment on these issues don't count, but yours count, because you are the reason why we're bringing these topics and those stories to you. But then, hey, it's for you to judge. Well, we have come to the end of the show, and I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. I want to appreciate you. I want to say a very big thank you because you are the reason why I stand here and do what I do. I want to say thank you so much for staying with RTM, and may you continue to watch and then be blessed as you watch. God will increase you in every department of your life. I thank you very much once again, and I will see you again next week, same time, same station. Do have a wonderful weekend.